Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Warner Bros. Discovery. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now on this chart, this is an update. We have covered this stock before and we were looking for further continuation to the upside, ideally in a fifth wave to have a more reliable setup to follow. But we have formed something even stronger, even more impulsive, and we have a slight adjustment that needs to be done. This isn't a problem. We were looking for a more conservative interpretation, but honestly, now that we managed to form this structure, it fits even better within the idea that I was tracking, which is a leading diagonal. Now, before we get here into the shorter time frame, I want to go quickly through the larger time frame for any of you who might be new. And here we are tracking two main scenarios. The orange one being the bullish interpretation, where we have a wave 1 up. This is a very nice structure in a wave 1 in an impulse to the upside. We have here a wave 2 down, where in the wave 2 we had a larger A wave down, B wave up, and then a C wave to the downside. We are looking at an expanded flat, and unfortunately we have even broken below the relevant area of support, and I'm leaving this on the chart especially to keep this in mind. This suggests that there isn't necessarily a high likelihood for this setup to work out in a follow-up wave 3 to the upside. In fact, it suggests that there is a significant risk that this structure is likely to extend to lower prices, which is what we are tracking in the white interpretation, where instead of looking for a wave 1 to the upside, this would be just a larger correction in an ABC pattern, where we are actually looking at a 5-wave move to the downside. We are looking in both scenarios at a 5-wave move to the downside, but if this is a wave C, we are looking at a complete correction, while if this is a wave 1 down, we are looking for a wave 2 up and then continuation to the downside. Now it could be a wave 1, could be a wave A, doesn't really matter. The main idea is we are looking here at very significant levels of resistance that put pressure on us to actually extend to new all-time lows. Now, with that said, we are looking for evidence on which scenario is going to play out, and here in blue we were tracking a possible initial 5-wave move to the upside to look for a more reliable trade setup here, at least on the shorter time frame, because from a long time frame perspective we don't have a very reliable setup, at least not on the long side. Maybe on the short side, sure, we have here a possible 1-2 setup to be looking out for, but not on the long side, not until we have an initial 5-wave move to the upside and a 3-wave correction to enter here in the wave 2 before continuing in a follow-up to the upside in a wave 3 possible. Now, for example, this could also form something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a wave A. We could be looking still for a 3-wave correction in a wave B, and then we could make another 5-wave move to the upside in a wave C. That is also an interesting trade setup, but we wouldn't even know if this was to follow up afterwards in a wave C or in a wave 3. But we would have the high probabilities of following in another 5-wave move to the upside, but we require an initial 5-wave move up for this. We require this initial 5-wave structure to the upside to be formed for those high probabilities setups. And with that said, we can move here into the shorter time frame where we need to do some slight adjustments, not necessarily to the expectations of a diagonal, because I could easily consider this a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a 3rd wave up, and I could be looking now for the 4th wave correction and a 5th wave to follow. And in this structure, we actually have a very nice wave C. This is what I am tracking right now. It could be something more bullish. It could really be at least on the short time frame, it could be something like an ABC structure, in which case we really only need to form here a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and a 5th, but then we would have a high risk of having completion here within the wave 2 in white. And I will provide you the first level of support to look for direct continuation here. And instead of following here in the blue scenario, we will track this as the orange interpretation, where we are looking for a larger initial 5-wave move to the upside. And let's make this a little bit more visible. But we will be tracking here a 4th wave correction in the orange scenario in the area between the $18.2 all the way down to the $11.5 level for a loud continuation here in a follow-up wave 5, where we expect to form an ABC structure to a new high. Yeah, if we manage to build this structure, we have our 5-wave move to the upside, and we have a very interesting trade setup opportunity in the following correction. But for that, we need the 5-wave move. Yeah, now in white, instead, we will be tracking here something like an ABC structure, which would be expected to complete in the relatively near term, where in the wave C, I really only need to form the 5-wave structure and the correction could be done. Yeah, in that case, I would be watching out for a slightly closer area of support. Yeah, I would still be looking for higher, even in this interpretation right now, but it would be within the wave C, which could easily mark the completion of the wave 2 in this larger ABC pattern. And in that case, we would be looking for support to start at the $20 level all the way down to the $16 level at the 50% retracement. And with that said, we don't have necessarily confirmation that this wave 3, this movement to the upside, is done yet. In fact, if we look here at relevant extensions for a third wave, I would be looking for an ideal target at the 138.2% extension of the wave 1. And we haven't necessarily gotten there yet. Yeah, we are very, very close. We are looking for the $24.8 level, which we haven't gotten to yet. But I also want to mention, while I expect this structure to still extend higher into such a level, I don't necessarily expect too much more. Yeah, within this third wave to the upside, within this supposed wave 3, I'm looking here at a 1, 2, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then a fifth wave up. And in this internal wave 5 to the upside, I already have a possible 1, 2, 3 complete, here a wave 4, and this would be the fifth wave to the upside, which could complete at any point. Yeah, we might not even get to the 138.2% extension. We don't absolutely always get there. We are already close enough already to even consider this a valid wave 3. And from an RSI perspective, we do see significant divergences where we should be prepared for a significant top to form at any time now. Yeah, even here on the weekly, we don't see quite a divergence yet. Yeah, maybe we actually do. We formed basically a double top, but honestly, probably the daily time frame fits a lot better for this structure. And we see here, even for this third, fourth, and the fifth, we see divergences, and we see even here for the internal fifth wave to the upside, significant divergences. So I am cautioning you, this is a warning sign that this structure could come to an end in the relatively short time frame, and we should be prepared to head into the larger areas of support and look ideally for the fifth wave in orange, but at least another high. I would still like to see another high even in the white scenario. But again, from a large time frame perspective, we have completed enough movements to the upside to consider this larger wave 2 complete, because this movement, this correction in the wave 2 doesn't need to occur within an ABC structure. Yeah, it could occur into a WXY pattern, in which case I wouldn't actually need any additional highs, but I'm still looking for them as long as we hold here the relevant areas of support. Yeah. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover. And I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.